Hi you guys, it's Karina. So I am back with another video tutorial, and this is kind of following the last video tutorial that I just made on my Succulent 74, but I wanted to show you how to make the cute little succulent buds that you can make with that template. So if you want to learn how to make the succulent flower, this is from the video before this one. I share how to make this succulent. So I'll tell you how to make the 10-inch, the 15, 16-inch, and the 18-inch. So if you want to learn how to make this one right here, watch that video tutorial. So essentially how we made the little center bud here for this succulent, it's pretty much exactly the same way. I just added an extra layer of petals just to make more of a cuter little succulent bud. Okay, so let me show you what the template looks like. So if you already watched that other video, then you already know what the template looks like. So this is my template 74. So she does come with 19 petals. So it is quite a bit of petals for this succulent. Now in that other video tutorial, so this template does come in PDF and SVG. So if you're curious to see what the SVG looks like, I highly recommend for you to watch that video tutorial, because I do a little explanation of what the SVG looks like, because it might be a little overwhelming when you open up that SVG, but I do show you on my design space how that looks like and how to adjust the sizing of the petals if you want the original measurements, as I have right here. Now you also do receive the PDF with the SVG purchase, just because some of you do prefer to hand cut. Personally, I do hand cut pretty much this template, just because, I mean, it is on the larger side, so I'd rather trace and cut. But for the smaller ones, yes, I do like to use my either my design space or go on Silhouette, because I also have the Silhouette and have it cut the petals for me when it comes to the smaller ones. But typically I'm more of a trace and cut OG. So so with this succulent, you could use 4 petals for the inner center, like I do here when I show you the tutorial for this one. But for this one, I am going to be doing 5, just because I want that extra layers, kind of, you know, to form more of a flower-ish. So you can pick any 5 petals that you want, but they have to be in order. Okay, so not just randomly 5 petals. You just want to make sure that they're in order. Now you do have 19 petals here, so you can create as many as you would wish. So for this one right here, I did use the first 5 petals right here, and she is roughly around 3 inches, close to 3 inch. Now if you were to use only 4 petals, which you could, then it would be slightly a little bit smaller. I would just recommend for you to doubling up this layer right here, so 6, and you'll see when I show you with the 5, you'll see what I mean by that. But for today, I am gonna skip the first 5 and I'm gonna go get the next 5. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I am going to be using these petals right here. But say if you want to make the larger ones, then get the first 5 petals. Okay, so again, just get any 5 petals that are in order. So maybe you want to get these first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and you're just gonna follow the same techniques. You're gonna make the same amount as I'm about to show you for this one, and assemble it the same way. Now I did use text weight paper to make these succulents, so it's very comparable to computer paper, so it's very thin and lightweight. You can definitely use cardstock, which is what I used to make this succulent, but because there's not a lot of layers for this one, I feel confident in using text weight. For this one, I don't really, when it comes to the succulent, I don't really like using text weight, just because the outer petals, eventually, if you don't secure this on the wall correctly, if you are using text weight, these petals can droop. Okay, they kind of sag down. So that is why with this, I feel confident that text weight paper works, just because the petals are more secured. I hope that makes sense. Okay, you guys, so let me go ahead and tell you how many petals you're going to need of each. So you're going to need 5 of the smallest, second petal 3, 3, 3, and then the last petal you're going to double it up, so you are going to do 6. Okay, now I did do the old method of tracing and cutting, since I do have 3 sheets right here, so I'm going to cut them at the same time. Just want to show you how that looks like. And then just cutting it out. Now this text weight paper is from the brand Key Color in the color Coral. If you are wondering what this color is, honestly, it's one of my favorite. I love Coral. And there you go. I was able to cut out 3 petals at a time. Hence why I prefer to do this method than cutting with Cricut Design Space. I don't know. I'd rather do it this way. But let me go ahead and get my petals cut out and I'll be right back. Okay, let's start off with the first 5 petals, which should be your smallest one. Go ahead and grab 2. You're going to get glue and you are going to glue your petals like this. Okay, we're going to form the bud. Now get yourself a wooden dowel. Give the ends a slight curl inwards. And now we are going to crease just like this. Okay. So now we are going to cross these. I like to use the table to kind of set the base down. You're forming a cone essentially. I hope you can see that. And then you're just going to secure the ends with your glue gun. And I don't know if I mentioned, I am using Surebonder's mini detailed glue gun. My go-to when it comes to working with smaller flowers. I'm just gonna hold for a couple of seconds. And this is what you should have, a cone. Now grab your 3. Let me move these a little bit further back. Grab 3 now. That's what you should have left. We're gonna snip. So this is the bottom part. We're gonna snip half of it off. Just like that. Those scraps to the side. Get yourself a wooden dowel. Curl the ends. Grab 1 petal, add some glue to the bottom. Now find a side, does not matter which one, and glue, just like that. Now you are going to hug the cone. So add a little bit of glue to the side. So glue here, glue there, wrap it around. Just watch your fingers because you are working with hot glue. You want to make sure that you're leaving a little bit of space. Okay, now that that is secure, grab yourself glue strings, grab the other petal, add glue. Now go to the next corner right here and place your petal. Okay, just like that. And now we are going to wrap this petal around the cone. Wrap it like that. Again, try not to do it too tight. You want to leave that space. Okay, so there's that second one. So now grab your other one and now go to this other corner. Glue. I'm going to fold and we are going to wrap this petal around the cone. Just like this. Ooh, definitely feel the burn on that one with my fingers. Okay, so this is what you should have. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna get the next petals. And remember, this time we needed 3 for this one. We're gonna do the same thing where we're gonna snip half of the bottom off. And then curl those ends. Add glue. Find a corner. Add your petal. Fold it. And we are going to wrap her around. So a little bit of glue there. There. Wrap around. Remember, any 4 that you get, so if you're going to get the larger petals or the real smallest ones, just follow the same steps as I am showing you now. Okay, so there's that one petal. Grabbing the next one. Now I'm going to the other corner, placing my petal, give it a fold, and we are going to glue that around. Apologies if you hear my children, they are in the background playing. Okay, we are on to the last one. Glue. And let me show you what the back is looking like. And then wrap around. Just like this. Okay, so this is what you should have as of now. Okay, we are on to our third petal, which you also need 3. We'll be doing the same thing where you're going to be snipping this off and then curl the ends, and you're going to repeat the same process where you're going to add glue to the center, pick a corner, so you have 3 corners, 1, 2, 3, so pick one, add your petal, and then you're going to wrap the petal around. Okay, and notice that I am leaving space. I am not doing it too tightly closed in, okay? Because I kind of want this kind of opened. And just like that. So now you're going to add glue to the next one, and you're going to glue it to the next corner and wrap around, and then continue to the other corner. So let me get these 2 done. All right, you guys, here is what you should be having. So now we are on to the 4th petal. You will repeating, you have 3, snip the bottom off, curl inwards. So as you can see, it's not hard at all. You're going to repeat the same process of adding glue, pick a corner, okay, and you are going to wrap that around just like that, and then just finish the other 2. So let me go ahead and finish the other 2 petals. Okay, you guys, so here are those 3 petals. So we are on to our last petal, which this should be your 5th petal. And remember, we had a double up, so we needed 6, 3, and 3. So we are going to do the same, where we are snipping the ends off. Give those ends a slight curl in. Okay, so this is going to be, I hope it's not too tricky for you as to how we're going to place these petals, because now we're not placing them like this anymore. So go ahead and add glue. Okay, so now notice these 2 petals and notice this corner right here. Okay, we have these 2 petals and there's that corner. We are going to place our petal right there because we want it in between. Sorry, my little one came in. So we placed the petal in between these 2 petals right here. So now we're gonna glue that petal right there. So we're gonna add glue and glue, and then glue your petal. Okay, just give it a couple of seconds for that petal to glue. So there is that petal. Now get your next petal. Now we're going to glue this petal in between this petal and this petal. So behind here, see how we have that gap? So we are going to add glue and add your petal right there. Okay, so in between this petal and this petal. Just add glue to the sides. And pinch and glue. Give it a little blow. Oh, child coming. All right, guys, sorry, mom is very popular right now. So here's that petal right here in between that one, and then here's this petal in between these 2. So now grab your next petal, glue, turn your flower. So now we have these 2 petals right here. And now we're going to stick this petal in between. So it goes in between these 2. Okay, just like that. And you are going to add glue and pinch. Okay, so there's that petal. So now your next petal, we have these 2 petals right here. So now we're going to go behind to this petal right here. So in between, just like this. And you are going to glue it just like that. Notice I'm using this finger to kind of pull the petal back, but then pinching the sides in. Okay, this is what you should have so far. Grab my petal, add glue. So now we have these 2 petals right here. So we got to go in between right here. Just like that. Add my glue. And pinch. Wait a couple of seconds. And please remember, if you don't get this the first time, you guys, practice makes perfect. Honestly, it's assembled similar to a rose. Last petal. Now we're going in between these two, so right behind this one. Just like that. Glue, glue, and pinch. Just wait a couple of seconds. I did bend these a little bit, so I'm gonna unbend them. But there you go. And there you have your succulent bud. All right, you guys, so I hope you found that helpful, and I hope it wasn't confusing. Now, you can just stick originally. So like when I showed how to make this succulent, this bud right here, you could just do them like that if you wanted to, like this with the little 3. I just like to add another layer so it's more rounded, if that makes more sense, for the succulent bud when it's not in the flower, if that makes sense. So this is what I created, but obviously you can do what you would wish with the template. I just wanted to share with you guys how I made these cute little succulent buds using template 74. So remember, you have 19 petals, so use 4 or 5 petals as you wish. I want to say this one I only used 4 petals. Okay, so I did use 4 petals with this one, and this one I did use 5. So you can definitely tell that this one has more layers again, but that's because I added an extra petal, which was the 5. So if you decide to do the 4, all you're just doing with that 4th petal is duplicate it and do the 6, just like I did with the 5th petal 6. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, if you have any questions, message me either on my Etsy, Ariel Elise Designs, or my email, arielelisedesigns@gmail.com. The template will be linked down below. If you're interested, remember you get both the SVG and the PDF, and refer to the last video if you want to learn how to make the succulents. All right, you guys, and here are the little succulent buds with my succulent flower. Just wanted to show you the 2 type of flowers that you can make with my template 74. Super adorable, super cute. So chat with you guys later. Bye.